The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, DaddyDWALLY, Chipotle Bear, and Bubble Boy and Seven.
And new intern, X-Bacon Gaming.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Welcome to The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Joining me, as always, is the co-host and super producer this week, Chipotle Bear. Chipotle Bear, how are you?
I am great, man. I'm tired. I was talking to Bacon before the show. I have literally not booted up my Xbox
I know, man.
Since like Friday of last week.
Where have you been?
I want to, man. I dream about Starfield. It's because I have a really big project at work, to be fair, that I was supposed to be doing since last May. It is due next Friday. It involves creating 80 web pages, and I'm about 50 of those through. So I'm getting through them, which is great. I'm excited to get back into some Xbox, man. I think about Starfield. I can't wait to join the Tenrai event this weekend for Halo. And of course, I'm happy to be here with you fellas tonight to talk about some video games.
And Jose, I'm tired too. Today sucked. I'm just exhausted from work. Allie gave the kids like each one of those gigantic freeze pop otter pops, like not the normal size one, the gigantor ones. I'm like, are you sure that's a good idea? She's like, oh yeah, it's good. This is that fourth exact. And then she's like, does anyone want the rest of my sugary syrup? Because she didn't finish it. And Grezin's like, I do. He's been freaking crazy, all night. And this is like the first time I'm like, never again are we doing that. But
it's a dad move right there. Never again.
Dude, I was just like, are you kidding me? I was like, all right, you're going to learn the hard way on this finale. And joining us, as always, is the inspirational co-host, X-Bacon Gaming.
Gentlemen, again, I'd like to give a shout out to our CU buffs who continue to take the college world by storm. It has been a drama-filled week at work, and video games and podcasts are my release from work. So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. And also, shout out to the Xbox Gear Shop, another new shirt, ABXY. That's the correct way you refer to the face buttons on the Xbox controller. Let's go, Buffs. Go, Buffs. Yeah, shout out to B. Gentlemen, let's jump into some huge TNC shout outs, Jose. What is going on with the comments on our YouTube page? Because I tried to see this, Jose, and like I'm only seeing 2 of them. And who put those on there? Like it says we have 4, but I'm only seeing 2. What the caca is going on?
I don't know, but I was trying to figure that out as well. And the first one that you're going to read, it shows up when you click on the notifications, but I couldn't find it on the video, so I don't know if it was deleted.
Maybe some people deleted things.
I may be a noob too. That might be on me. But we got 2.
Okay, so I'm on it right now. Yeah, I'm only seeing Jbizzles, even though it says 4 comments, and I changed the sort by. Big Box, if you wrote here, I apologize. We are not seeing it again. Big Box, please write to our Gmail, even though I've not checked that in a long time, but use that anyway. A shout out to Pachelic057 commented, I'm happy that I wrote you a comment.
Me too.
What is that? Cyrillic?
The Cyrillic alphabet. So it looks like Russian, but I don't know if he's Russian. It's the alphabet of the Russian. It's called the Cyrillic alphabet. That's what it was written in.
Thank you, Jose. Shout out to Pachelic. Appreciate that. And then huge TNC shout out to Justin Bogus9690. Bogus, you can't change your YouTube name to Jbizzle. Match your gamer tag, Synergy. Anyway, Jbizzle wrote, hey fellas, great content the last few weeks. For the last 3 years, I've taken a month off from playing video games during the month of September. Between the beginning of school year coaching volleyball, it seemed like as good a time as any to cleanse the palate. Man, am I regretting that decision for this year. If you've seen me logged into my account, that is actually my middle child playing Fortnite on my account because she likes my skins better than her own. What's crazy is that as expected, as excited as I am to play Starfield, I really want to play Lies of P also. With Lies of P being a third-party game, I know it will leave Game Pass, while Starfield is here to stay in perpetuity. Also, Lies of P is a shorter game. Am I crazy for seriously considering playing it before I get sucked into the Starfield universe? Thanks for your help in this difficult decision. Can't wait to quote, see you online on October 1st. Yeah, Bogus, I don't know what you're thinking, first of all, taking this entire month off. And second of all, yes, you are crazy. Lies of P should be there at least a year. I'm sure it's great. I know you're a Souls simp, but I also know that you're going to be like, this isn't my Souls game that I'm used to. But will I forgive you for playing Lies of P first? Yes. Do I think you're crazy? Yes.
I don't think he's crazy.
I don't think he is.
Dude, Starfield's a fantastic game, and I think you should definitely play that first. But if you want to play Lies of P, go ahead. I mean,
do you think about it? How many hours did he put in Elden Ring? He's going to match that in Starfield.
Yeah, but Elden Ring's different. Elden Ring's massive. From what I hear, Lies of P
Starfield's not massive?
I got my numbers on that. I'll tell you in a second. But go ahead, Bacon. You're playing Lies of P, aren't you? You're not going to finish it.
Well, oh no, I'm not going to finish it. I'm 12 hours in at this point. I want to say I'm really close to the final boss, if not at the final boss. It is
the final boss of the game?
I believe so.
Oh, well, then why can't you beat it?
That's impossible.
12 hours? Man, that's
I'm
short.
pretty far. I know that. I know I got a couple upgrades left to do on some stuff. But other than that, Bizzle, the game is right up your alley. I know your love for the Souls. And if it's comes down to not wanting to pay for the game, and it will leave Game Pass, we are all very well aware of that.
Probably in a year.
Do I still think you have time to get Starfield in and then get Lies of P in? Yes. But if you're looking to scratch that Souls itch that gets you on your rear end most of the time, then Lies of P will fill that. I much prefer this game over Wulong. I don't prefer it over Elden Ring, but it's so freaking similar to these. It's so insane how good this game is. It is incredibly difficult, especially on the bosses, but most of the mobs are pretty easy.
That difficult that you're already at the end in 12 hours? I mean, I'm a little surprised, to be honest.
I'm not sure if I'm at the end. It just feels like the bosses have progressively gotten cooler and harder. So the one I'm at right now has got like 3 phases, and it's just like,
is there a difficulty slider, Bacon?
There is no difficulty slider. I have looked and searched in every menu to find it if it was hidden or if there's a something I can pull out of a chest to turn my difficulty down, because I know people are getting through it. I just need to step back and assess my skill level, but it's always a skill thing for me because I'm not a very good gamer. So, but Bizzle, you will not be wrong if you choose to go to Lies of P first and wait for Starfield to get more patches or stuff to get 100% fixed. I still have some of my NPCs talking to me with their backs turned to me.
Yeah, sometimes happens, but I think that's because you're not facing them the right way. Here's what I'll say about Starfield, Bogus. If you want a great story and not to have it spoiled, you need to play Starfield. I know you love Skyrim. I know you love Fallout. It's a first-person shooter, and it's a pretty solid first-person shooter. Here's the thing. I played 90 hours. Here are my final stats. I've beat the campaign. I beat all the factions. I'm level 50, 51 when I 50 when I finished, and it was 90 hours of gameplay. And I had no serious glitches. I maybe had 2 crashes, and one of them happened right after that update happened. Maybe 3. So as far as like the game being complete and well done, I think it's completely playable now. There are a few glitches I've read, but if you stay on your Xbox, and I know you, Bogus, you're going to have a bunch of saves because you're a Bethesda guy, you'll be fine. So if you are craving a Souls game, yes, play Lies of P. But I personally think the story and main campaign in Starfield is so well done that it's worth your time. But yeah, I just say play whatever you feel like. if you're feeling for a Souls game, play Lies of P. If you want a new, different experience, and in my opinion, one of the best Bethesda campaign, play Starfield. But we'll talk more about Starfield later and what we've been playing, guys. Let's jump into some Xbox news for the week, Jose.
News team, assemble!
The title for this week's episode is Xbox Leaks Their Own Deets. Pretty proud of that one, I thought.
That worked well.
And as Jose implied to us earlier in our little nerd chat, he thinks that all these crazy leaks where it was planned by Microsoft to get that publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, as I tell Bacon all the time. Guys, let's jump into it. There's so much to talk about. Everybody's been talking about it. Crazy Xbox leaks. Where do we want to start here, boys? Should I just start the console, the controller? Bacon, I'm going to leave it up to you. What do you think out of everything that we've seen is the craziest of all of these leaks, not only with Xbox, but with the prices and competition and their plan? How the hell did this happen? Like, let's be real. Somebody had to get fired.
I'd probably start with what links all of us together, and that's that new console. It's not, from what I'm seeing, a real spec bump, so that's a bit concerning. Is there more horsepower under the hood that they've not yet tapped into? I don't know, but the fact that we are now going completely diskless with the Series S, and now this new one's going to be diskless, say goodbye to physical media, which I'm okay with.
No, they're not saying that the 1 terabyte with the disk drive is disappearing. What if this is just another option? I don't think they're going completely.
If it was just another option, wouldn't they lower the price of this one, though?
Why? This has a 2 terabyte hard drive.
I'm pretty sure we're saying goodbye to physical media.
I don't think so. I'm fine with it personally. Yes, I agree. And I will get this as soon as it comes out. But I don't think this means that the base Series X or the original disc Series X is going anywhere. I don't think it said anywhere that they're just getting rid of it. I think this is just another option with a 2 terabyte SSD.
Hopefully it's going to have Zen 3 would be my hope. There's like a hidden spec bump we don't know about, because I can't imagine they do this full redesign without.
But like you said, yeah, I wish there was something performance-wise, but who knows? Maybe they haven't said anything, because what if they can unlock something software-wise? No, they probably can't. If they do have to do something, they have to add something hardware-wise to increase.
I'd like to give a shout-out that looks a lot like the Mac Pro, whatever, the trash can old computer.
I like the design. I think everyone's like, oh, what's a cylinder? I love the way the Series X looks, and I love the way this looks. I think their design team is on point. Let's move on.
I think it's a lot smaller than the other one. I think that's what people are assuming. It's the same size as the current box.
You think it's smaller?
I think it's a lot smaller.
Really?
Is my gut.
I don't know. Can we zoom in on these slides? Like, I'm on the Verge's one. It's pretty. They've got like every single slide on here, which is incredible. So yeah, let me shout that out. So, and this is the Microsoft's new diskless Xbox Series X design with a lift-away controller. So this is coming from Tom Warren, and of course, all these leaks came out on September 18th, and it was late that night, I believe. So it's crazy. He's got like every single slide, and let's talk about the next big thing that was on there, the controller. What do you guys think of the new design, Jose? Like it or don't like it? I'm not sure about it.
Hang on, talk about it. I'm trying to if I can see the screen on while you guys talk.
Controller with the pants. Bacon, what do you think of the design?
I'm not a huge fan of the two-tone.
I can't decide. I like the black
extraordinaire did for us.
I like the buttons. I like the black buttons, the black thumbsticks, the dark D-pad. I'm confused. It doesn't really have a clearly marked share button, but I'm assuming that's what it is. So it says Xbox Wireless 2, Direct to Cloud, Bluetooth, 5.2, new mobile app features, haptic feedback. So is that like the PlayStation thing, Bacon?
Yeah, the haptic feedback doesn't say anything about resistive triggers like they do, which is something I turn off anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do
Unlike
like the haptics on the PS5. The haptics is a feature I like and leave turned on.
What does
but no one,
VCA haptics double as speakers? So does that mean there's a speaker in the
there's
controller
a
too?
speaker. I don't know if we blow into it, but
I don't know
you
if I like that. I
I hope we
never
blow
liked it
into
with the
'cause,
PlayStation.
yeah.
I never liked that.
The good news here is the module thumbsticks. So that means it
Yeah.
should be self-serviceable, and hopefully the bumpers are as well. With a rechargeable, removable, replaceable battery, this seems like
Yep. I wanted to say, Bacon, quieter buttons and thumbsticks. That's one thing. Colin over at Sacred Symbols, he's been playing a lot of Xbox lately, and he specifically has been like, but why does the controller have to be so loud? Like him and this other guy wrote in complaining about the Xbox controller being loud. And I'm like, I don't really notice it, but there are some times where you're clicking those bumpers and the D-pad, it can be loud. So I'm glad
when you notice it is when your significant other is on the couch next to you asleep, and you're like, I'm just trying to get things rolling.
Yeah. Allie's like, do you have to play that right now?
Yes.
And then so rechargeable battery, like Bacon said, modular thumbsticks, improved longevity. We'll see about that. And then lift to wake. So if we just lift it up, it'll turn on. That's kind of cool. I have to say, as a standard controller, this thing looks pretty impressive.
It does.
It looks like a substantial upgrade, almost like, to be fair, this probably should have came when the series consoles launched, but at the same time, though, it's almost better this way because they took everything, all the feedback around the DualSense and the Nintendo controller, and then the thumbsticks, and it's pretty solid. The only thing I would say, again, the one thing it's missing, and I think it needs to be standard, are 2 back buttons. I
agree.
I think
buttons, yep.
They don't have to be the crazy modular ones like the Elite where you can pick and insert it. Just 2 easy.
Like ROG Ally even has them, bud.
Yeah, exactly.
Standard.
Just something like that, or like the cheap controllers that you can get on Amazon. I can't remember the brand. That they're like $25 and they're solid wired controllers, and they just have 2 easy buttons on the back. I think every controller should have that. They should be encouraging that. But other than that, I think this is a pretty amazing. This is going to take over as the best controller. I mean, if it does everything that the DualSense does, which it looks like it does, I don't know how people won't like it. But Jose, originally, what do you think of the look of this thing?
I actually dig it, man. Like I really like this aesthetic, but I do have to ask, is Merlin the Series X controller? Because it says that same ergonomics as Merlin. And what's weird about it, looking at the image makes it looks like it's it looks different than the Series X controller. Not the Elite, but the one that comes standard.
It's got to be the standard control. I'm assuming Merlin.
So. I really like
standard.
That aesthetic, but no, I think it looks rad, dude. And you can obviously see where they're going to do with like the design lab stuff, like easily to adjust that top plate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And modular and stuff like that. I think it looks rad. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I think it's cool, but again, I will be waiting for the Elite Series 3, and hopefully it's going to take everything that we see here, right? Like I don't want to have like the previous series controller that like it is right now, right? Like with the Series 2 is a step behind that's why I really like my Scuff back there, is because that has the ergonomics and feel of Merlin, is what we're assuming. So a very cool controller. Let's move on to more of the leaks here. We talked about the design. So it says the series, or the digital, will have Wi-Fi 6E. Bacon, tell me why that's important. Is that like the latest and greatest? And then wait, hold on. And then the company is shrinking the existing die to 6 nanometers for improved efficiency. Important. The power supply will be reduced, so it's going to be more energy efficient. Why are these important?
When you're on a die shrink, 6 nanometer is means the transistors are less and have to use less power, less heat dissipation. Die shrinks are always good, just like the new iPhone 15 is the first phone to come out on the 3 nanometer die shrink. And every year in CPUs and GPUs, they always tout their die shrinks, and that just makes the package smaller and therefore requiring a lot less power for sustainability for our environment that we're wrecking every day. So overall, it's a good thing. Also, with the die shrink usually comes a spec bump because we're getting more power by using less power. So that's the hope with the Zen 3, hopefully in this system. But die shrinks are always a good thing.
So Bacon, how do I zoom into like on my web page?
You should hold control down and scroll your
control down, and then okay, here we go.
Yeah,
perfect. Okay, so here's the specs between all the different, or I guess additions. I don't really want to read about that. That's a lot of stuff. This document's crazy. Like it really is insane. So Bacon, going back to the originally, like, why do you think? Do you think that someone at Microsoft purposely let this out? I guess back to the original question: did Xbox purposely release this just to gain attention, or was this just a massive mistake?
I believe it's a massive mistake because I don't know why they would put all their plans out there for Sony. If this is truly what their next gen or their mid console or mid gen refresh is, Sony most likely is going to beat this because they're going to put more power in it to try to get the power crown back.
Oh well, we already know the PS5 Pro is going to be more powerful. Like that.
Yes, this is a lot of information telling everyone that Elder Scrolls 6 isn't going to be on PS5 and the names and code names for the games that are coming up, Doom Year Zero. I mean, I'd have to imagine someone might have lost their job, and we all assumed it was the FTC, but apparently
somebody has to, right? Yeah, like somebody has to lose their job for this. I'm sorry.
This is the behind the scenes investor meeting stuff that's happening here. These are the slide presentations for them to sell.
So that's what I was going to ask. Why does the FTC need to see? Like they have to show Xbox's plans.
Well, they have to show
Call of Duty.
They have to show that they're not that they're not a monopoly. They have to show it, and you can't lie to your investors. So this information is stuff that's presented behind closed doors to investors, and it's against the law to lie to your investors, fiduciary obligations and stuff. So this is legit paperwork. This is legit paperwork that the lawyers saw, that all the regulators around the world have seen, that the FTC has seen, that somehow came out unredacted. If it was intentional, there's some masterminds out there at Xbox leaking their entire roadmap to 2030 is wild to me. I can't imagine it is, because there's a lot of games and code names in there. They're all games that we knew were most likely being worked on, like the next Doom, like the next Elder Scrolls, and so we all knew it was there. Project Kestrel, what is that? Who knows? So I think it was an accident, but they're just going to ride the wave and just see where it takes them.
Gosh, this is crazy. So I'm looking at this launch timelines. What does Sabelle launch at $69.99? What is that? Starfield?
No, Sabelle is the upgraded Series S.
No, $69.99. No, look at this. Elwood 1 terabyte launch, $299 in late August, fiscal year 25. That's happened now, right? Like we already have the 1 terabyte.
Sabelle is the new controller. Look down at the stuff.
Wireless. No, it is. It is the controller.
Yeah,
it is
the controller. So look straight down. It'll show the wireless, Bluetooth 5.2, direct to cloud. Sabelle is the new controller.
Elwood. Okay, so the new controller launches before June of E3 next year. But then what's Elwood 1 terabyte launch? That's got to be
the new Series
S.
The black one.
That's already launched. So they were saying within 60 days of that, Brooklyn, the 2 terabyte digital, was going to launch at $499. So that hasn't happened. So clearly, Phil, we'll get to that in a second. Things have changed from this timeline. So this was what I guess. That's weird. So yeah, unless this digital Xbox Series X is coming this year, but they have it launching at the end of October. I don't think that's
look
happening.
At the bottom of Brooklyn, it has Sabelle in there. So why would the Sabelle release be way after Sabelle comes out in the Brooklyn? So I'd assume the Sabelle is going to launch at the same time as Brooklyn, because it's the pack-in controller.
Maybe okay, so maybe this is next year. They're going to launch the controller right before or right during E3. Then the Elwood Series S. So the Series S 1 terabyte will drop to $299. That's what it is with the new controller. And then next October, Xbox 2 terabyte, $499 with new controller. And then look at this. There's last chance for Edith 512 gigabytes. So that Edith must be the original Series S at 512 gigabyte, will be $199 on Black Friday. It says it right there. That's crazy. And then they talk about why they're spacing it out by 60 days. 3-year volume. Look at. Can you guys scroll down in the Microsoft? Do you see on the? It's what are these numbers down here where it shows 3-year volume 29 million, fiscal year 27 59 million? Is that what they're predicting how many units that they're going to sell?
I think that's the overall life.
Wow. Okay, so 3 year, so we're probably gonna be around 30 million Xbox Series consoles sold. Dude, this stuff is crazy, and we haven't even gotten to some of the games. So, Bacon, I guess, and Jose, any reactions to? Do we want to talk about the games next? Like this is wild, or anything that you've seen in these slides that are crazy to you? What about you, Jose? What are you thinking about all this?
I mean, to be fair, so when Dan mentioned that I said I thought it was like a flex, that was more of us just joking. Like, do I legitimately think that a Microsoft official was like, hey, you know what's a great idea? Let's just leak everything that we're doing. No, I really think that this is like a
to that though, Jose. Is a lot of this though really that damning? Like, isn't a lot of this kind of stuff we thought was going to happen anyway?
Maybe, but that's not the term I would use. I don't think it's damning. I don't think it's that at all. I think what's unfortunate about it, and Phil even said this, and we're going to get to that in a second, I know, is that the truth is a lot of work goes into this, right? A lot of people are really excited about this, and it's an ecosystem thing, right? It's not just about leaking the news. It's about, there's a marketing element to this. There's a hardware element to this. They were probably saving these announcements for some future trade shows or some future game shows, right? And so like, to have it all just literally leak in a document, like, yeah, it's a lot of buzz and they're going to get a lot of like excitement, but we all know that the news feed really thing is this thing that it lasts short term, right? It's not a long term thing. And so instead of having all of this come out, like Bacon said, the roadmap for literally the next 7 years, truly, like, I think they're definitely a little bit bummed about that. I mean, in terms of myself, I'm very excited. Like,
yeah,
truly, like, I mean, like, I'm all in.
Let's talk about the games, Jose, for what you're excited for. Fiscal year 20 and what does fiscal year 20E mean, Jose? Do you know what the E is? Well, who cares?
I don't know.
So this is what was coming. We already knew these games. So Doom Eternal came out.
Yeah.
Fallout Wastelanders, Elder Scrolls, Deathloop, Fallout Shelter Online. Did we get that? And Project Whirlwind for mobile. Fiscal year 21. Starfield didn't happen. Elder Scrolls did. Redfall didn't happen. Doom Eternal DLC did happen. Ghostwire Tokyo, did that happen in 21? I can't remember if that was 22. Fallout expansion, I'm guessing. What's Project Hibiki? Is that? I'm going to guess that's Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah. Fiscal year 2022. Clearly not happening. Indiana Jones game. Sorry. No, that's not coming. Oblivion Remaster is coming. Elder Scrolls Online. We already know there's an expansion. Starfield DLC. Okay, so push that back. So I'm assuming this is going to be 2023. So this is 2024, Bacon. Maybe we're guessing here. At the earliest, Doom Year Zero and DLC. Project Kestrel, Bacon, do we know what that is?
No idea.
Okay, unannounced. That would be, I'm guessing, oh gosh, and there's another one, Project Platinum. What are these Bethesda games? So maybe Ghostwire, maybe a Ghostwire would be a good guess from Bethesda.
What's that game there that Platinum was working on for Xbox that got canceled with the dragon?
Oh no, they're not going to bring that over to Scalebound. They're not bringing that over to Bethesda. No. Okay, one of those has to. I'm going to guess is Kestrel. I couldn't tell the names. What about like a Wolfenstein or something?
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything from that, so that could be a possibility. So that would be maybe next year, 2025, because everything's been delayed. Then fiscal year 24. Gosh, they were really ambitious with this one. Elder Scrolls 6, Project Kestrel expansion. So something's already getting an expansion from that previous game. Licensed IP game. What is that, Bacon? Because we already have Indiana Jones.
Maybe that's the rumored Mandalorian game we've been hearing about.
I don't know. Fallout 3 remaster, in addition to the Oblivion remaster, another expansion. Look, it says Ghostwire Tokyo sequel, so that can't be Platinum or Kestrel before. So that's also coming.
Named, yeah.
Dishonored 3 is also coming because that's not one of these projects, unless this is This is crazy, you guys. And to answer Matt's question, he asked me a couple weeks ago, he's like, is the Bethesda purchase worth it just with Starfield? And I'm like, well, no, obviously not just for Starfield, but for all of this, yes, absolutely. These games are banger slangers. Jose, sorry I interrupted you. What are those games are you pumped for? All of them?
Dude.
Like
I mean, like literally, I don't know. I don't know one game that I'm not pumped for. You know what I mean? Like in terms of the stuff that we're seeing. Obviously, like I love the Doom stuff, and obviously it looks just freaking gorgeous on next gen hardware stuff. I'm actually in a weird way excited that some of these are like clearly code names, because again, while the leaks are fun and like obviously like we are learning so much about it, it's also like a little bit of a bummer, man, because like I like the excitement stuff of just learning when things come out a little bit.
Well, here's the thing though. We'd heard the Fallout and Oblivion, like that was kind of like
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like the Project Kestrel, Project Platinum.
Here's the thing.
I'm glad it's written like that.
Look at that. Look at this. But I think those have to be who made Hi-Fi Rush. What's the studio?
Oh, Tango.
Tango. I think these are Tango games because look at Project Hibiki. That had to have been Hi-Fi Rush, right? They're the only ones maybe with these Project. Exactly, or just
most studios work in code names, though, dude. That's
but why? But why? All the other ones are named, but like I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe Platinum, Kestrel. Dude, I'm guessing that's got to be like Wolfenstein. Anyway, sorry. I thought maybe all of them were from Tango GameWorks, but yeah, these games are crazy, right, Jose?
Crazy. I mean, an awesome list. And dude, this is all just first party stuff. That's what's crazy. Like you realize like there's got to be other stuff too. They're working in terms of third party and partnerships that are not even included on this. So
this is wild. Do we see all of these games before the next Xbox console, which also was mentioned in here by Wario, by 2028? Are we going to get all these games within the next 5 years?
I would think so.
Probably, yeah.
Ooh, what if one of those Project Platinums is like the next fall? No, there's no way. They've got to get through. They've got to get through.
It's not going to be Fallout, dude. Sorry.
You're insane, man. So continuing on with these leaks, the next gen console they're thinking is going to be, that their goal is 2028. And you see this diagram saying Xbox 2001, 2005, 360 Connect Digital Media Store, Xbox One 2013, Xbox Security Processor, Game Pass, DirectX Innovation, Series X and S 2020, Project X Cloud, Direct Storage, Manufacturing, and then Next Gen 2028 Cloud Hybrid Games, Immersive Game, and App Platform. Let's go to the remarks. So this all happens. We hear nothing from Microsoft or Phil Spencer or anybody, because poor guy was probably in Japan getting over his jet lag as this was leaking, and we hear a response from Phil Spencer. Oh, wait. Should we talk about the Nintendo thing, Bacon, really quick before we get to his comments? Sure. Another one of the crazy emails going between them, but basically Phil Spencer said at some point getting Nintendo would be a career moment, and I honestly believe a good move for both companies. It's just taking a long time for Nintendo to see that their future exists off their own hardware. A long time, smiley face. Bacon, a lot of people are very angry about these comments about Microsoft buying Nintendo. Of course, when I read this, I knew that would never happen. And
that's right.
Interesting, dialogue on the internet. But like at the same time, though, could you imagine? I'm not saying Xbox has to buy Nintendo, but what if Nintendo went third party? They'd make so much money selling their games everywhere. But I don't see that happening. But what was your initial thought when you saw those comments? Because I know a lot, like I was listening to the Dukes today, and Cognito's like, hey man, if you're a business person, you got to have goals. This is just a goal for Phil. And he said, King David said it really well, that, you may want, to marry, Penelope Cruz, but you're living in your parents' basement with your mom, and that's never going to happen. But you can have those goals to marry her, but it's just not going to happen. Is it a goal for Phil to get to Nintendo? But that's clearly never going to happen. So what do you think? Or is he just a stone cold killer bacon going for everybody?
The pipe dream of all pipe dreams, right? But we do remember with the story of how the Xbox came about, they originally approached Nintendo to buy them way back in the early 2000s or late 19s. So they've tried to do it before. And Nintendo just laughed at him.
Yeah, but just for context of this email was written in August 6th, 2020. Right. So this was before the launch of the Series console, and before, I mean, the Switch was blowing. Well, I guess the Switch was selling really well at the time, but it wasn't. I don't know. I feel like during COVID, that's when it really took off, like the beginning of that. So this was during that explosion, and now how well it's been selling. So sorry. So back in 2020, these were these emails.
What's harder to get past regulators, buying Activision and Blizzard or buying freaking Nintendo?
Yeah.
I don't know why Nintendo is so set in their ways. The amount of money they could make, even doing year later, like PlayStation does, releasing their games.
Yeah, or even like 2 years later, releasing it out third party.
We sent other games to Nintendo. Yes, and the Switch hardware is so freaking outdated. It's ridiculous. So their future, Nintendo simps are Nintendo simps. You're never going to talk sense into them. Their hardware is atrocious, and it's time for the atrocious too. It's atrocious
by modern standards. Dude, the new iPhone 15 runs games better than the Switch.
Well, okay, yes, but. Switch as a device, being able to switch, and it does work really well and very easily. And as a handheld, it is a good handheld, right?
Don't get it twisted. If Phil had his chance to buy Nintendo, you're damn right he would. He's a killer.
And so PlayStation, though, do you think PlayStation would?
I think they would.
If they had the chance.
PlayStation's all about them Benjamins, man. They ain't. But it's not going to happen. If you see these other slides in here, that the actual operating costs that Nintendo kills both Xbox and Sony with their overall income, because their operating expenses are so low and they make so much money selling that outdated Tegra processor in that Switch. I think the Switch costs them $8.50 to make, and they sell it for $3.50. It's ridiculous. So I just wish they would reach out and create some partnerships, an olive branch, and I feel
like they've been doing.
I just don't like owning a Switch because it just never gets touched. I would love to have their games legitimately on PC, and I'd buy them all.
Yeah, and that's what I wrote. Phil wants Nintendo. I wish. I wish that we could get. I wish we could get Nintendo like a native Breath of the Wild or Wind Waker, 4K 60 on my Xbox HDR. Like, how awesome would that be? Without having to emulate it and be, do it that way. Yes, incredible. But do I think Nintendo's just set in their ways more so than Sony? Yes. I just don't ever see this happening. I feel like it is kind of a weird comment for Phil to say at the same time, that's, I don't, Jose, you're nodding your head in disagreement. So what do you think? I didn't really go to you on this comment.
So it's honestly, and it's not like I know Phil yet one day.
Yeah.
I think you're missing the point here. I mean, like Bacon said, and he's absolutely correct. Would Sony buy Nintendo if the opportunity arose? Hell yes, they would. So would Xbox. So would any major company. So would Amazon, for that
Amazon
matter.
Yeah.
Apple would do the same thing.
Amazon.
I think what you're missing is that I think Phil, one, is setting goals. Goals are always important in any situation, career, life, that kind of thing. But two, more importantly, I think it's kind of one of those, like, it's that classic, if you aim for the moon, you land among the stars. Even if we can't buy Nintendo down the road, but we can create partnerships where maybe one day, through the magic of what we're doing, we can convince them to do some third-party stuff, either 1 year, 2 year, 3 years out. That would also be huge for Xbox, right? Imagine being able, to say, like just what you said, Dan, that Tears of the Kingdom came out in May of this year, and it's going to be available May 2025 on the Xbox. Like, even 2 years later, dude, I would pick it up at full price, dude. I wouldn't bat an eye about that, because I can't play it now because I don't have a Switch, which is my own choice. I could certainly go buy a Switch if I wanted to. I just don't want to. But if it was native on my Xbox, and especially if you could get it into the cloud somehow, that is the pipe dream. And that's the other part I wanted to add to about the leak. And I encourage you, even if you're not a huge nerd and stuff like that, go look at the actual FTC document, because it's basically a bunch of graphics. It's basically a PowerPoint presentation that got shared.
Yeah.
The thing that I think a lot of people are glossing over right away that I think is really powerful is that on, I don't know which slide it's on, but it's the one with the Master Chief on it that says gaming devices path to 2030. The middle bullet point says the controller becomes the hero. The new Xbox controller is the only thing you need to play on every device. And that low barrier to entry fuels subscriber growth. Really, you can see what they're pointing out here is that they're not worried about the box. And I got to give credit to our boy, Mr. Badbit over on the Play Trophy Room. He told us that literally, remember like 6 months ago when he was on our show, he was like, you guys have to understand, they don't care about the box, right? The box could be the Series X. It could be the Series S. It could be a PC. It could be your phone. They want to put games everywhere. And so I think this is smart because the obvious issue we're running into is the hardware element. But if you can build the hardware you need into the controller, that's a cool move, dude. Like that is smart. It's kind of taking that Fire Stick approach to things and really trying to launch that there. I think there's a lot of really, really smart things happening here. So I'm digging it, man.
Last slide I just want to touch on here. It says current gaps fiscal year 23 to reach and 2030 goals. So these items are funded: cloud experience, Gen 10 investigation, mid-gen consoles, wireless headset, core controller, security, blah blah blah, a design lab. Okay, currently not currently funded resource, but they are looking into it. Another elite controller, a luxury controller. What is that called? Zarasai. Console customization, PC accessories, accessibility portfolio, new cloud server blade, repairability / sustainability progress. I think they've made some steps in the repairability with the controllers. Audio portfolio expansion, Waterloo Mills. Here's what's kind of a bummer to me, Bacon. Stuff that is, they have not in scope for Xbox first party earbuds. Really kind of bummed about that. I'm not gonna lie, that bums me out. They're like, no, we're not gonna make first party earbuds. We're not gonna make a media remote. We're not gonna make a mobile controller, and we're not gonna make a handheld. There it is. We are not getting an Xbox handheld. It is on this triangle, this giant earbuds. Come on, guys. They can't figure that out. I'm an earbuds guy. Okay. I don't need to have the dent in my skull from the headset. So
you already have a dent on your face.
No, I don't. I'm like, maybe my face, but not on my skull. Guys, let's close all this with words from Phil Spencer. He finally spoke the next day after the leak. And this, of course, we have the full memo on The Verge. Well, let's start with his, of course, Tom Warren. Let's start with his tweet. We've seen the conversation around old emails and documents. Old, remember that. It's hard to see our team's work shared in this way because so much has changed and there's so much to be excited about right now and in the future. We will share the real plans when we are ready. Then here is his full memo that he wrote to, I'm guessing, all of Microsoft. Team, today, several documents submitted in the court proceedings related to our proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard were unintentionally disclosed. I know this is disappointing, even if many of the documents are well over a year old and our plans have changed, or our plans have evolved. I also know we all take the confidentiality of our plans and our partners' information very seriously. This leak obviously is not us living up to that expectation. We will learn from what happened and be better going forward. We all put incredible amounts of passion and energy into our work, and this is never how we want that hard work to be shared with the community. That said, there's so much more to be excited about, and when we're ready, we'll share the real plans with our players. In closing, I appreciate all of the work that you pour into Team Xbox to surprise and delight our players. And the days and weeks ahead, let's stay focused on what we can control, continuing the amazing success of Starfield, the upcoming launch of the incredible and accessible Forza Motorsport, and continuing to build games, services, and devices that millions of players can enjoy. Phil. Jose, as a leader yourself, did I nail that speech and tone? And what
You got
did you
Pampa.
think?
Mariano, he's
You got
like,
Pampa in there asking why
yeah.
Phil sounds like Batman.
You made it
Shout
sound
out
like
to
he's
Pops.
really mad. In
Hey,
this
I
memo.
gotta get the tone right. Okay, Jose, as a leader, what do you think of Phil's words there?
I mean, to be fair, I personally always really like the way Phil's handles things because, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, he's pretty direct about like, yeah, we got it, like we messed up. And I always appreciate that he doesn't call people out. I don't think that's a good leadership quality when people are like, well, this is
I would have
clearly
called
the
this
lawyer's
guy.
fault.
This guy leaked it. Don't worry, he's been
He's fired.
terminated.
No severance.
You think darkness is your ally?
Oh, brother, the fire
Nobody cared about me till I put on the mask.
Yes, brother.
Do you
But-
feel in charge?
In reality, man, I just
to stay with the plane.
I mean, I think what he's doing is smart. Is that he's basically doing a couple of things. One is we're admitting our mistake.
think you know the darkness? I was born in it.
We're a bunch of children over here. He's admitting what happened. He's also saying, you know, the truth is that this is not 100% true. Like that's what he's saying. He could be lying to us, right, as the public, but he's basically saying like, don't believe everything that's in documents because our stuff has evolved. And he's applauding his workers, right?
You think darkness is your ally? But you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then,
DMCA takedown for
DMCA
it was
takedown.
nothing to me but blinding.
And then ending.
Is
That's
Bane
pretty
here
good.
right
Bane
now,
is the
guys?
greatest character ever.
You just pulled it out pretty good, but I'm proud of you. He's also celebrating their work, right? He's saying like we have lots of work to do. Let's focus on that. Let's celebrate what we've got with Starfield and Forts and everything coming up. So, I mean, dude, and he did it in 3 paragraphs. Like that's also pretty impressive that he did that.
Yeah,
So I think it's a great
he
response.
addressed it. He was stern, focused back on the positives. What is that, like a compliment sandwich, Jose? Do you do that at work? You're like, here, you did great here, but we got to work on this. But don't forget, you really, really well here. You
Let's
know?
I don't do the full
positives.
sandwich. It's like an open face sandwich, but yes.
Oh, Pomps, thank you so much, buddy. Pomps, what do you think of these leaks? Tell me what stood out to you, Pomps, and what do you think about the Nintendo thing? Like that's just taken out of context, right? Xbox would never get it. Let's be real. But Pomps, tell us what you're thinking. And Bacon,
we know that he is addressing the old plans, and we know the timelines for those game releases. You know, Starfield 2022. So yes, this is older information that has been leaked and timelines has changed. As far as the hardware go, the controller, because they have asked us on surveys on the Xbox.
That's for 100%
we
real.
want these options on our controllers. The controller is 100% coming.
And a big step up.
Yes. And I'm sure that the console, they've always done a slim pared down
mid-gen
version.
refresh. Yeah.
Yes. They normally go down in price, but this one's staying where it's at. So most of this is probably right. Someone definitely lost their job. You have to lose your job for that. That's not a, hey, let's do better next time. You just released our entire roadmap. So Phil's doing what he has to do. But the funny thing is Xbox is trending. Everybody's talking about freaking Xbox right now. We all know the future. Everyone said they're going to stop making consoles. Or 2028 says there's going to be a next gen console. So I'm encouraged by the leak. Can't wait for Activision to go through and let's just finish it.
Yeah, Pomps, and you're absolutely right. Pomps said, I just feel bad for the team, excited for the controller. What company wouldn't want Nintendo? Yeah, we talked about that. I don't know if you heard us saying that. Any other company in their shoes would act the same. Absolutely. We were saying how we think Sony could if they could. We said Amazon, Apple.
Everybody.
I mean, absolutely everybody would love to have Nintendo. So shout out to Pomps there. Great comment. And that controller, I see pros and cons. Do I think this should have came out initially? Yes. But at the same time, they took a bunch of feedback, like you said, Bacon. They're adding whenever I use a PlayStation controller, yeah, it's cool, but I don't think it's that great, the haptics.
As
But
long as they can get more than 4 hours out of a charge.
exactly. So
on
that's
that
the other thing.
battery.
Like, are we going to get good battery life? Or are we sacrificing that? We're also adding the speaker. I've never liked the speaker. Thank God it doesn't have the touchpad. I think the touchpad is such a waste of space.
It is.
And it's just a giant button. Nobody uses it besides clicking it for a button. But the thumbstick. So explain to me the modular part, Bacon. Does that mean like you're going to be able to like take them out, or that you can replace them easier?
That the controller is user serviceable is one of the lines on there. So I know they already sell the bumpers and stuff like that for us to lightly repair them right now. And with the right to repair thing that's going on with all electronics right now, it only makes sense that we're not sending a bunch of controllers to landfills. Xbox and Apple are both really pushing this sustainability. They're pushing the green initiative. The Apple Watch is now zero carbon footprint. That's where everybody's trying to get. So if they're giving us the opportunity to buy their nice controller and then replace things, modularity. So I assume that the thumbsticks all come up. Yeah, on the top right it says I can't read it. Bottom line on the top right,
Repair and disassembly.
Yes. So they are trying to achieve user serviceability, which is freaking fantastic. I love my controllers, but I have so many dead controllers that it's shocking to me at this point how many dead controllers I have.
issue, bud.
Yeah.
I'm mean with my controllers, I guess.
Again, I Bacon. This controller is awesome. Like, let's be honest. And I actually know when I look at it, it's sick. It's good
dope.
design. Like
it looks longer, but I think it's the two-tone that makes it look wider. But
yeah, it's just the two-tone. But Pomp said it too. No paddles. Like again, that has to be. They got to start putting in 2 buttons on the back. Like we got to get that one guy, Jason Ronald, on. He doesn't need the hardware guy, Bacon. We got to get him on. Be like, dude,
the beard,
you got to get buttons on the back, a standard of these controllers. So great, crazy leaks. Everybody go look at them. It's awesome and sad at the same time. Exciting. Gosh, all the games just from Bethesda alone, you guys.
Sick.
Look, it's so exciting. So I'm very excited, but at the same time, yes, it would have been cool if it was a surprise. But a lot of this we kind of knew was coming.
We know there's an Elite 3
a lot of it we people were talking about. So
the Elite 2 is so popular. How's there not an Elite 3 coming? We know these things. We just don't know the timeline.
Oh, absolutely. It's coming.
Yeah, but the timelines and some of those stats, very crazy. Maybe we'll dig into it more next week. Let's move on to news story number 2, Xbox at the Tokyo Game Show 2023. Here are the things that were announced. Hotel Barcelona, Octopath Traveler 2. I'm actually surprised at this. It's coming to Xbox.
Square
I didn't think it
knows.
was happening.
No.
Square and Xbox. Exciting. And I hear this one's way better than the first one. I'm probably going to have to check this out. And it's coming to Game Pass. Am I right, Bacon?
I don't know if it's Game Pass.
Regardless, I'll probably just buy it then. Forza's Japan course was in the spotlight. I'm getting more and more pumped to play Forza Motorsport. Fallout 76 is getting an Atlantic City update. Elder Scrolls Online is coming to Japan.
Good.
Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy is coming to Game Pass. I've heard nothing but good things about these games. Let's see if Bacon tries it and quits it after 5 minutes. Althea? The Wrath of Aphari is a new game. Ayunin Chronicle 100 Heroes is a spiritual successor to the Suikoden series coming to Game Pass. I remember I still need to play the other one that's on Game Pass. Exo Primal gets an update. And then Infinity Strash Dragon Quest, The Adventures of Dai gets a new trailer. Like a Dragon, The Man Who Erased His Name is coming to Game Pass along with Like a Dragon Ishin. And Mineko's Night Market is coming to Game Pass. My Lovely Express coming. Empress is coming to Game Pass. Pal World is coming to Xbox in 2024. Party Animals is getting an Ori crossover. This looked hilarious and amazing at the same time. Apparently, I need to check out Party Animals. That is out now on Game Pass. We're going to talk about that later. Persona 3 and Persona 5 got new trailers. And, this is talking to me right here, boys. PUBG Battlegrounds. You hear that, Palms? Erangel is getting a new map makeover. I cannot wait. And I don't know how Pony's going to take this, you guys, because he is obsessed with the map and he's probably going to quit after it gets updated. And then finally, Wolong Fallen Dynasty DLC is coming. It's going to ruin my 1,000 out of 1,000 because I'm not going back to that hard-ass game. So, gentlemen, anything stand out to you there from the Tokyo Game Show? Bacon, I'll throw it over to you.
So when you guys were coming up in high school, you guys are probably better looking guys than I am.
That's right.
You didn't always have to ask a girl out to get shot down, shot down, shot down, shot down. And then the
No,
one time
Bacon,
you
I've
asked
got
her
a
to prom,
story. Oof,
one
I
time
got a
you
story
asked her
for
to
you.
prom on your last ditch effort, she's like, sure, let's go to prom. This is how I feel Xbox is doing.
Wait. Did she stand you up at prom, or did she actually spend time with you?
No, she went.
Did she spend time with you?
Yeah, nobody really danced. We kind of hang out with the dudes and chicks.
So I have a sad story. The first girl I asked, Jessica Strickland, got into her locker room, put flowers in there, asked her in the coolest, nicest way ever. She said yes, didn't speak to me the entire dinner, immediately spent every second away from me at the dance. I went home crying that night. I'll never forgive you, Jessica Strickland.
Does she know what she's missing? The Wally of today. She missed out. Allie got it right.
I told Allie about that. She started crying for me.
To make a long story short, I think that's where Xbox is in Japan. They keep asking, keep getting shot down, and then Square opens the door a little bit, and next year we're gonna have them all. So this is a lot of stuff that I probably won't play because I'm just not a
Bacon. You need to download and try it to show them analytics.
I will. I always download every
engaging
game
with
that comes
Japanese
to
games.
I download every
game.
Every game that comes to Game Pass, I download because I want them to see the metrics. My one download probably doesn't count for much, but I do download every single game, and I try them. So
thank you. B, I paid for dinner. She didn't even thank me for it.
What
Jessica Strickland.
Strickland, what a name.
Can I see that boop, boop, boop. I need to get that. Jose, that okay. Say anything stand out to you from the Tokyo
honestly, there's a couple that definitely speak to my name. Actually, that Hotel Barcelona. I don't love looping gameplay necessarily, but I do like horror stuff, so I might check that out. I haven't played 76 a whole lot, but I like that they're doing the Atlantic
it's a good game.
City stuff.
It's fun.
I do like that they're bringing a lot of our Western stuff to Japan because, again, I think like Bacon said, all of this is everything going to hit? No, but at the same time, it's a little bit of that.
So you're telling me there's a chance,
right? With the Japanese market, they're clearly putting a lot of into it. I like that there's a Dragon Quest. That's a long-standing IP to kind of bring to Xbox. Obviously, like a dragon is cool. I mean, I think it's a lot of cool stuff. Not necessarily a ton that I want to play, but that's okay. I don't have to love everything that Xbox does. The goal is just to get more people playing games, and that's what they're doing. So I got no complaints about that.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to some of these games. Shout out to Xbox and their presence at the Tokyo Game Show. We'll probably talk about more of these games as they come to Game Pass into the console. Let's close out the news, you guys, with some quick news stories here. Quick story number one. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of pumped about this. Every time Sea of Thieves releases a new update, I'm like, man, should I get back into it? I know many of you have asked for this, but private PvE worlds for 1 to 4 players are coming to Sea of Thieves this December. There was a huge patch and a huge announcement for a bunch of updates to Sea of Thieves, but this one is the one that really interested me, guys, because it would be nice to just be able to go out, sail the seas, and not have to worry about some, sweaty pirates coming and taking all my loot, because that is one thing I hated about the game. I remember one time I was playing with Billy. We spent all this time getting this loot only to get sunk and stolen, and they took everything. And I was like, I just wasted 2 hours with you. I mean, it was fun, but at the same time, frustrating. I did see that if you're in this PvE world on the private server or whatever, that you don't get as much rewards. That kind of sucks, but maybe finally, shout out to Matthew Kennedy, maybe the 4 of us should go sailing the seas. Next quick story or quick update is the State of Decay 2 Curveball update is officially it's out. It is out. Basically, random events in the world. Curveballs will periodically appear, each with their narrative attached, offering new objectives, rewards, enemy types, and much more, designed to offer unpredictability. And they also said in this update that State of Decay 2 has an incredibly loyal player base. Bacon, I still have it downloaded on the PC right here. So when you're ready, once me and you beat Redfall, maybe we'll have to jump into some State of Decay 2. And then the next quick news story, Jose mentioned it earlier, and I'm sure Palms has already got it maxed out. Actually, I've had it maxed out for a while. Joyous occasion. Tenrai has returned once more, bringing many gifts. Tenrai 3 brings limited time Tenrai social playlists that include 8 new maps plus a free 10-tier event pass with new samurai themed customization now live through October 3rd. So again, 2 weeks to complete this, which is nice. I'm sure we will get this done. Shout out. Haven't played Halo in a while because playing way too much Starfield. And the last quick news story coming to Game Pass for mid-September 2023. Available now, Lies of P, cloud console and PC. We already talked about it's a Pinocchio Soulsborne game. I will play it. I just have no desire right now. It's very, very bizarre. Also out right now, Party Animals. This is what is this kind of game? Bacon? Is it kind of like a?
It's almost like Fall Guys kind of.
That's what I was gonna say. Fall Guys.
Silly goofiness. Okay. Looks fun as hell.
Also out today, Payday 3 Cloud PC Xbox Series. Did you guys see the trailer where it was the heist guy with the mask standing like at the beginning of the Dark Knight Rises, where right before that bank heist, right at the beginning of the movie, where the guy with the Joker or with the clown mask is standing. It was exactly like that. I was like, they did a good job, cool. paying respect to that. To the movie that is out right now as well. And this snuck up on me, Cocoon. I'm going to have to play this in about a week, coming September 29th. This is coming from Jep Carlson, the lead gameplay designer from Limbo and Inside. So when Limbo or Playdate Studios split, one guy went to do, what was that one we played, Bacon, last year? The aliens.
Yeah, the aliens.
Yes, whatever that. I can't remember that game was.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Anyway, so this is the other half of that team splitting off. Cocoon, I'm gonna have to play this. I can't wait. Cocoon takes you on an adventure. Somerville. Across worlds within worlds, master world leaping mechanics to unravel a cosmic mystery. Ooh, I hope it's not too puzzly. Also, unfortunately for Bacon, because he just purchased it, but I still think it's worth the $12.99 that he paid for. Gotham Knights is out on cloud, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Jose and I've already talked about this.
Loved it, bud. I
had a great time with Gotham Knights. A fantastic story. I'm sure Bacon is.
Court of Owls.
There they are. The Court of Owls. Watch out. Jose's got him. Bacon's going to be enjoying it at a much better frame rate. So that was the problem with it. Like the 30 was unstable on Xbox and it just kind of chugged versus the 30 FPS in Starfield, which is amazing. And I'm like, this is how if it's done like this, I'm okay with it. So Bacon, excited to hear your impressions on that. Everyone, gosh, there's so many games, you guys.
Bacon, who are you going to play as?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm gonna wait for it to come to PC or Game Pass. So hopefully I can get achievements. But I now own it on Epic.
Yeah, it's October.
It is on PC. It says Cloud PC.
Yeah,
it is, but
October
it's
3rd.
not till October. So I'll probably go Hogwarts.
And then
instead.
the Lamplighters League Cloud Console PC is also on October 3rd.
Too many games.
Dude,
so many
crazy.
games,
Leaving September 30th from Game Pass, Beacon Pines, Dispose Game, Last Call BBS, Moonscars, Outriders. Oh man, I never played Outriders. That was pretty good.
Not missing much.
That was Colin's game of the year that year. Proteus and Weird West, which I did
play Weird West.
Yeah, I did well on that. So too many games. Guys, anything stand out to you from the quick news stories there?
Honestly, all of them. Well, I mean, the
yes.
Xbox coming soon. Like, there's so many good ones, and I'm still not finished with Starfield. I got to do Tenrai. Like, got Alan Wake coming soon because of Luke. Shout out to them on the XCP. Like, it's too much, dude.
But it's crazy. Thank God. I mean, I'm not even considering Spider-Man at this point. I'll buy that down the road when it's $20. I still have to do Miles. I don't even know if I'm going to do that. In all honesty.
You don't need to.
I want to do it on my ROG Ally though. Anyway.
Yeah, eventually. And I was just going to say. Really quick, Bacon. Yeah, so you haven't played Gotham Knights.
No.
So I will say you will have an opportunity. You can play as each of them and then get a feel for them, and then that's what I would do before you like commit to a character. But once you commit, you should probably commit because just with how leveling works in that game, it's just the best. The characters don't level with you, right, Jose? I don't think they do. I think it's
in Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have to do it yourself. No,
Yeah,
you don't
so
put
probably-
people. No.
I'll probably choose Batgirl because I always play as a woman in video
Good-
games because I'm
pretty
living
good.
someone else's life.
She has the best traversal in my opinion.
Yeah, she's got
Her or
pretty
Nightwing.
solid. Yeah, exactly. So, guys, let's move on to what have we been playing and or watching. Jose, should we just skip you on this segment?
Well, I got a
or-
tiny bit.
All right.
As I mentioned, I've not had a whole lot of time to play this week. That is going to change soon. Don't worry. I miss it very, very much. I'm excited to get back into Starfield, but I'll play Tenrai first. However, one thing I did finally do this week, because I was like folding laundry and stuff this weekend, I did finish Twisted Metal on Peacock. I had been watching it and like is it amazing? No, it's
but
as
even
far as
even
like, just
Jose right now, is it even he can't be like, this was pretty good,
watchable.
like Resident Evil on Netflix.
I loved Resident Evil on Netflix. I really did. But this one, it's fun. It's a fun show. I think they did a really good job of like, it doesn't really feel like Twisted Metal the game until the very end. And I know if you listen to like Bitcast and stuff, BANE said the same thing, but it was a compelling enough story, and they did a good job building a couple of the characters that I was like, I like this. And I watched a whole bunch of it. I got through like episode 6 or 7 in like a couple days because I liked it. And then I for whatever reason I stopped. And so I finished it this weekend, and it's good, man. I do really like it. I'm enjoying it. I definitely think it's worth it. I get Peacock for free because of my mobile service. I probably wouldn't pay for it otherwise. But
do you have Xfinity Mobile?
I do have Xfinity Mobile.
Oh wow,
I've had it for a long time.
Is that pretty good?
Yeah, it uses all Verizon's towers, so it's the same service as Verizon, but it's through Xfinity and stuff, and it's been great for me. Shout out to them. So I did that, man, which was great. And then other than that, I really have just been watching whatever Victoria or the girls want because I've been doing the work for that website. But other than that, man, just excited to hear what you guys have been up to.
I'll go quickly, Bacon, because I think you have the most diverse range of games. Probably you've been playing a lot. Like I said earlier, 90 hours in Starfield, my current game of the year. Completed all the factions. My official faction ranking list: S tier, UC Vanguard, then we got Crimson Fleet, then Ryujin Industries, Freestar Collective.
Yeah,
kind of weak.
So kind of boring.
Yeah. So those are the ones, Jose. That just so you know, I think that's what you should try. Love the game.
Order.
I was level 50, 90 hours. Now the only achievement I have left is to get to level 100, and
it's gonna take forever.
Take forever. I'll chip away at that over time. And then also, what else have I been playing? Last night, Bacon and I jumped into some Redfall, guys. We're going back to the 2023 potential Game of the Year nominee, Redfall. You know, it's a game. It's not the worst game. It's not good. It's certainly not good, but it's not terrible. And I have fun playing with Bacon, and it's simple. It's just so frustrating. I know I've said this before, but there's something there, Jose, and it could have been so. It could have been so much more. And I remember Ains even saying that in his review. And there is something there in the world.
The setting is cool.
Its setting is cool. The shooting is solid. The staking the zombies, staking the vampire doesn't get old. Even Bacon, I figured out you have to use the UV light on the bloater and then shoot it. That's how you get the achievement. So we'll make sure and get that together. So there's some cool things there, but AI not very good. It's just not there. And it makes me sad because I think if they had proper time to do a sequel, I think, I guess, I don't know. I don't know if you can really make a sequel to the game. They just needed more time to really figure it out and iron it out. Exactly.
Just like Callisto. I wish there would, because it was.
I know. We didn't even talk about what happened with Callisto and what's his face leaving. Yeah, sad stuff. So that's the only other game I'm playing. So my plan, I did want to talk about this. My next plan is to potentially, I don't know if I'm going to go Sea of Stars or Bloodborne. I'm kind of conflicted if I want to play Bloodborne next, and then Forza Motorsport. I can't wait for Forza Motorsport, and then Alan Wake 2. And I was going to say, Jose, thank God that they pushed back Alan Wake till like the end of October to give me just a little bit more breathing room. But geez, it's already September. I mean, I'll be lucky if I can get through Bloodborne and Redfall. So Pomps said, achievements, shaking my head. Don't hate me because you hate me, Pomps, because I'm going to get that 1,000 out of 1,000 on Starfield. He said, Red is a fine game. That game needed more time. Exactly. Yes. And Callisto, man, I really like that game. Yeah, Jose loved it. And yeah, there is something in Redfall.
Yeah.
It's definitely not as bad as everyone said it was, and it's definitely not a 58 Metacritic.
Sure.
It should be in the upper 60s. Like I do think that. And if it was just a little bit better AI, it could have been a 7. And that is honestly what I think is going to kill me in our fantasy critic. Because I think all of my games are going to be in the upper 80s or above. And I think I would have killed it minus Redfall getting me minus points. And then I have like 3 games delayed into next year. So Jose's going to take it this year. That's for sure.
It's seriously better in co-op than it is.
It is. It is fun. It is fun in co-op.
That with Redfall.
So go ahead, Bacon. What have you been playing?
So in these times when the writer's strike and no TV shows are coming out, I have binge watched Welcome to Wrexham all the way through season 1. I'm actually a soccer fan.
Dude, it's because of stupid Ted Lasso.
Dude,
you're like, I want to watch the real Ted Lasso.
Welcome to Wrexham is freaking awesome. The wife loves it too. Awesome. Great show. And then I've also been watching Gotham Knights. I'm just scrolling through Max watching stuff, and Gotham Knights on the WB and on Max. It's actually really good, surprisingly.
Bacon, is it in the same universe as Titans, or is it different?
I don't know the Titans. It's the same Court of Owls storyline that you are.
Oh, okay,
yes,
great.
Gotham Knights is Court of Owls. The whole
because I'm behind on Titans, and that's why I haven't started Gotham Knights. But
you gotta stop that because you gotta see the Court of Owls in Gotham Knights the game, Bacon.
Well, now I'm figuring out who I want to be by watching the show. See, girl. See?
Hey, wait, Bacon. Speaking of Max, though, did you hear about Winning Time, you guys? It's canceled after this season. I'm freaking
I don't know if it's
pissed.
canceled. I just think they could have done so many more years.
That's what I'm saying. No, they're ending it. Like they're canceling. They're no more seasons.
I watched the final episode the other day.
Don't tell me. I haven't watched it. So can I buy the Max and have it and finish it?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay,
it is such a fantastic show.
That bums me out.
Damn good. I cannot believe they're done. It could have been their cash cow for years. So as far as what I've been playing, I rolled credits on Starfield. One of my 49 hours, 50 hours in, and New Game Plus. Then I rolled credits on Broforce, and I was so far close to the end that when I fired it up yesterday and hit one button, I got the 100-point achievement for finishing the game. Not sure how that happened. And out of my 12 hours into Liza P, and it's everything you want it to be. I wish the dodge had more in it, more ground to cover when you dodge, and a lot of people complain about it, and I see it because it's just such a small. It's hard to get out of the way of their major.
Yeah, and isn't there like a red attack? Like you can't.
Yes, there's a red attack. You can't do anything with it.
You can't iframe it, and you can't parry it. So
and the stamina bar when you are dodging to get out of the way of these major hits, it really goes quick, and then you have no stamina to go in for the fight when he's picking the big axe or whatever back up. So there's some fine tuning they could do to make that a super good game. But the setting is so awesome. The whole storyline of it is awesome. The weapon, it's everything you think of when you think of a Souls type game. Even the way you go back into a boss after you die and you go collect your souls and then go back in to fight the boss again. It's so Elden Ring, and it's 100%. You'll see it. It's there's so much inspiration there from everybody else. But totally awesome games. I've been pretty damn busy with gaming lately and having a blast. I just beat my 18th game of the year, so I'm feeling good about it. I'm going to finish Redfall. I'm going to do 10 right probably tonight, I would have to assume.
We're doing more Redfall. What are you talking about?
And then I got to do more I got to do Payday. There's just too much. It's time to sell my.
You're
PS5.
Gonna do Payday?
It's time to sell my PS5. It's time.
What's on your PS5?
I said it's time to sell my PS5.
Yeah, that's what I was honestly thinking. I'm like, I gotta get through Bloodborne and Demon Souls and Last of Us, and then I can sell my PS5. Like I need to. And then I'll borrow one from somebody for Wolverine. Is literally the only real game that I want to play.
Well, hopefully by then, PlayStation pulled their head out of their ass and they'll just put games on PC.
I wish. I don't think that's gonna happen.
So much money.
Let's close the show like we always do, boys, with the best food we had this week. And I need to add some items to the list, Jose. Okay, I'm going to need you to add 2 breakfast burritos and 3 Domino's pizzas to the list.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I almost got 2 more burritos the next day. So please add those. I mean, both of those. Freaking fantastic. Okay, update 87 Popeyes chicken sandwiches, 38 breakfast burritos, 1 Chipotle burrito, 2 Big Macs, QPCs, and 6 pizzas. eaten. Before we get to bacon, though, I will say the best. 102 subs. The best food I had this week, though, I got to give a huge shout out to Allie. She made these sliders. She basically made like a big 12 by 12 square of a pound of ground beef, put it into the Hawaiian, the Hawaiian rolls.
Beach buns.
Those delicious, so good. And then she made this like special sauce, you guys. I don't know. I gotta ask her what she did. It was incredible. It blew me away. These sliders were fantastic. So I got to give a shout out to Allie. And of course, she probably was like, I winged it, and I'm never going to be able to have that exact recipe again because she always forgets what she does. So shout out Allie. That was the best food I had this week. Her special sliders and her special sauce. Boys, bacon. What was the best food you had this week?
I'm going to need to add a Costco pizza to the pizza.
All right, add another pizza, Jose.
Tonight, on the way in, because the wife was at school doing extra work,
Quarter pounder with cheese.
A double quarter pounder with cheese. Thank you. So add those tallies. We are definitely going places with our food counts.
Update. We now have 3 Big Macs or quarter pounder with cheeses and 7 pizzas eaten so far in the lifetime of the show. And keep in mind, some of this didn't start until about maybe
last
a year
week.
Ago. So
the best thing I've eaten this week. Neither of those two are the best thing I've eaten. We had Mr. Panda, and there's a new shrimp they have there with the
Mr. Panda, like Panda Express.
Panda Express. I always call it Mr. Panda. They have a breaded shrimp with like chili stuff on it, so it's a little spice on that. It definitely went well with my orange chicken. It's a new item. If you guys are in the Panda Express alley, you can pick some up.
Speaking of random names like Jose just gave to Panda Express, what do you guys think of this name for Chipotle?
I didn't give that name.
Oh, sorry, Bacon.
Mr. Panda.
What do you guys? So this is a name that Dustin Furman over at Secret Symbols Last Stand Media says, a Pennsylvania thing, or just him and his friends saying, what do you think of calling Chipotle Chippers? What do you think about that?
Oh my God, get the hell out of here. Absolutely not.
Okay. What about this? For McDonald's, they call it Sneaky Ron's because Sneaky McDonald,
Is it a pedophile restaurant?
Why is he laughing downstairs?
What do you think about calling McDonald's Sneaky Ron's? Is that better? You like that one, don't you? You kind of like Sneaky Ron's.
It doesn't roll like Mickey Ron's does.
I'll call you Sneaky Ron. How about that?
So is that a yay or a nay on Sneaky Ron's and Chippers?
Nay on Sneaky.
Absolutely.
I mean, Chippers. I can deal with Chippers. Chippers is just cool, but Sneaky Ron's, it sounds like a pedophile.
I need to know in the chat, yay or nay on Sneaky Ron's and Chippers. Shout out, Dustin. I'm gonna tweet this at you, buddy. Jose, what was the best food you had this week?
So to make up for the lack of gaming this week, it has been a pretty baller week in terms of food.
All right, tell me you've got some updates to the ticker.
I did. So I already added in there. First thing I added in there, I did have a Chipotle burrito
I need a live update. I need to see it. I need to see it one more time.
Sorry, I put the banners back on my bed.
That should just be running this whole time, Jose. Can you just have it during the best food? Just have that constantly running. There we go. Leave it there.
Went to Chipotle and honestly waited in the longest Chipotle line I've waited in years.
Which one? The Watchers one sucks.
No, that one has been great always. This was the one by Southwest. We went there because we had to go to the library over there. And
really, the one by
like Witch and the Big Lots and stuff over there, literally by the mall.
It's kind of hidden. Like, it's like backs up to the golf course, right? Yeah, that one's surprising.
Literally it just took forever. But we went because the girls wanted it and got that salad burritos back. I had to try it. It was delicious. But I think the barbacoa is better. Going back to that next time, but certainly recommend, especially if you're a big steak guy. Which was delicious. The other thing we had on Friday, Victoria made this. We did like one of those like meal kit services. We got
wait, Jose, I gotta interrupt you. A live update from Pomps. He shouted you out one time when we were playing Halo. He's like, I really appreciate Jose being on your podcast because he's a real Mexican and he said rolls his R's and he speaks Spanish correctly. And I was like, thanks. So when you were saying carne asada right there and barbacoa, and Mike Pomps is probably like, yeah, man, that's my hermano right there. Yeah,
I know Pomps loves it. So that was great. And
like a Pomps said, damn
he's
right.
Damn straight right there. It's my boy right there. Love it, bud. No, Victoria made this, like, they were green. They were like poblano white chicken enchiladas. They were delicious. Like, usually I don't really love those meal kits that much, man, but they were actually really, really good. So those were awesome. She's also perfecting her rice, which is great. The other thing we had was, because I saw the commercial, I had to try it, were the new Taco Bell chicken taquitos, which were also pretty good. I'm a big fan of them. I don't think I would replace my meal with them. I liked the zesty ranch, but I actually like the nacho cheese better as the dipping sauce. They were also a little pricey. 4 for $5, I think, is a little expensive for what those
That's what I want to ask you. Is Taco Bell even worth it these days, man? I saw somebody tweet out a family of 5 and it was like $50. I was like, Allie, Allie and I were randomly talking about this. I'm like, Allie, when was the last time we went to Taco Bell? And I don't even remember. It's just out of control.
It's out of control with the pricing. I'm with you. Yes. I wish it was cheaper. I would actually go more, but I because of that, it's a financial move. But other than that, man, been a great week of food. And just tonight, Victoria, shout out, because like Bacon said, I was at parent teacher conferences with Nell, his wife. My wife brought me some pizza from Romano's, which is in Littleton, so that's what I get to enjoy after the show.
Me anything.
Does that count as the pizza list? Did you also add that to?
Well, I haven't technically eaten it, but you know what? Let's just go ahead.
We got to add to the list.
Add it now.
Shout out to B gave us an update. 49ers over the Giants. I mean, is that really that surprising? I mean, didn't we anticipate
Giants were decent? That's a bummer for me. Those are my fantasy quarterbacks.
Yeah, Broncos are going to be 0-3. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, they're going to get boat race this week.
Bob says, like, closing thoughts on the best food. Taco Bell used to be the spot for a lot of food for the cheap, but nope, not anymore, sadly. Gentlemen, this has been the Nerd Chat episode 125. Yep. Xbox leads their own Deets. My name is DaddyDWALLY. You can follow me at DaddyDWALLY across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast across all social media. Thank you so much. We always love it when we have people in here. It makes it so much more fun to engage with you guys. We really do appreciate it. And I actually really want to say, guys, that I, in general, have appreciated the tone lately of our show. More celebrating, more positive. Let's just enjoy gaming. Am I right? Mm-hmm. And joining us, Chipotle Bear, where can people find you? Oh, are you still doing that Threads? Is that still?
Yeah, I still do. I check Threads every day, but you can find me on Threads. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on X or Twitter, Chipotle_Bear or Chipotle Bear. Always happy to chat with people there. Give big shout out to Matthew Kennedy. We'll get you back on here soon.
Matthew Kennedy 7.
As well
as
his
Gears of War stream.
Absolutely. As well as Ains over at Bitcast, and then also Luke and Logan over at Xbox Expanse and Pass. Been chatting with them.
And even the trophy room boys, even though
of course. Love Joe and Kyle too. Hope they're excited for Spider-Man, truly. But as always, if you like the show, even for a little bit, a thumbs up, like, of course, a comment too. Jbiz, great to see you again in the comments, man. Hope volleyball is going well for you, and we'll look forward to some hopefully great news next week as well. Thanks, everyone.
And X Bacon Gaming, where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me across all your socials at X Bacon Gaming on Xbox Live, PC, you name it. You'll find me getting whooped up in Lies of P, unfortunately, before I quit and give up. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for the chat, B, everyone. You guys drive the show. We really appreciate it, guys.
As always, Constellation Spacefarers, see you online.
See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
Sorry, I just had to again because it was hilarious.
I was born in it.
Do you?
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast, is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at DaddyDWALLY across all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_Bear. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoyN7. The intern to the assistant to the co-hosts is Jason Jarrett, and you can follow him at XBaconGaming. You can also follow the show at the Nerd Chat across all social media. And if you'd like to find out more about the show, visit nerdchatmedia.com.